small southern town. Though I have that resource, I can't get in to see a doctor for anything. Doctors are either no longer accepting Medicaid or can't take on any Medicaid patients, which means the health unit is filled with the rest of us, and the last time I called, they were so full they couldn't even put anyone on the waiting list. Now I'm a stay-at-home mother of 2. My 4-year-old just started pre-K, and I stay home with the 2-month-old. It's hard to notice sometimes. I'll not want to go out and just stay home, thinking, oh, it's just a hassle, etc. Friends and family push for me to leave the house because they've noticed I've been choosing to stay home and isolate myself, and everyday things have become major obstacles, such as showering, brushing my hair, remembering deodorant, eating meals, even brushing my teeth, as gross as that is. Lately, sleep has also been an issue. It started with the baby. She'd be up all night, and I was stuck in that routine. Then I liked the fact that everyone else was asleep, and I didn't have anybody to take care of for a few hours. I watched what I wanted, eat what I wanted, read, etc. And now I'm up till 3 or 4 in the morning and waking up at 6 a.m. to start our day. I'm worried because I feel like at nighttime the world stops, everyone's asleep, and it's as if time stands still. And in those moments, those are actual hours I can breathe. I feel no pressure, no expectations. Everyone is asleep, so how could I? It's this euphoric, surreal, almost beautiful feeling. But I'm scared because I find myself not wanting it to end, being up later and later. I have so little sleep, and I'm starting to feel paranoid. How much longer can I do this while still being able to function and take care of my family? Is this a manifestation of my anxiety? How can I stop this cycle? Anonymous.
Yeah, this is a great question. I mean, it sounds like we really kind of have a catch-22. I can empathize with having that reprieve in the middle of the night and having no worries. It's kind of like your own little like mini vacation.
It is, yeah. I totally get that.
Yeah, and I can't say that removing that would be good. Like, I think that's a good, healthy thing. You need to have that time to yourself. However, on the other end of that, then not sleeping is not a good treatment for anxiety.
Yeah,
right?
No, and
that's
you're
not
starting
to
get paranoia, break with reality. And a lot of people don't realize this, but lack of sleep is a form of torture. Like, that's a war crime if you do that to somebody else. and you're doing it to yourself. And so you do want to... I like, Nick, that the writer is appreciating that this is something that needs to be addressed. And not just shooting it underneath the rug, but saying, hey, notice my tension with this. It's something I like. And I get it as a parent. I have a 3-year-old, I have an 8-year-old. And I can tell you that as a parent, my wife and I joke about this all the time, our entire lives are the kids. When the moment we wake up, it's breakfast and getting kids ready and brushing teeth and everything that they need. It's going to school, getting them to school. Then as soon as they're out of school, it's, feed and take care of them and get them dressed and bathe them. And then when you finally get them in bed, you finally have a quiet house. And you finally can just, talk to your spouse or check your phone or something little like that. But you're usually still doing chores. And so I really empathize with the writer. It's funny because when we received this letter, it was, I noticed it at 2 a.m. and I was playing video games. And I was like, I get you. I was playing a video game and I was like, no, wait, I get you. I am with you right now because I have been staying up way too late and waking up way too early.
So your feedback on this is probably going to be pretty good.
I wrote the letter, Nick.
Oh, you're anonymous.
It is all me.
I see it now. Now I get it.
Yeah, now you make sense. Yeah. There's all these emojis in it.
But yeah, I mean, I think... what do you think, Joe? There's got to be limits set, right? I mean, you have to have your own time, but obviously you can't push it so far where you're not sleeping.
Yeah.
Where do you draw that line? How do you set those boundaries?
Yeah, I see the two factors, right? So the first one is the clear indicator of anxiety. And when we have big anxiety or we have depression, the writer's correct. Small things become big things to us. It's this... kind of like this old lesson from physics that an object in motion tends to stay in motion, right? And an object that's at rest tends to stay at rest. So once the anxiety and the depression hit, brushing our teeth is a mountain challenge. Getting out of bed is a mountain challenge. It's really difficult. When you're a stay-at-home parent, it's also difficult because you don't have an audience and you don't have other adults to please. And those are the things that motivate a lot of us to get things done. None of us are getting up doing things every day. because we're just that awesome and that disciplined. It's usually because if I don't, the bills don't get paid and I'm homeless. Like
that's good motivation.
It is good motivation. But whenever you're a stay-at-home parent, and I've done that, there was a summer where I stayed home with one of my kids, and it was extremely hard for me, like, to put on clothes, because there's no reason to. Right. And this kid's probably going to just spit on my stuff anyway, and like, it was very hard. And so I get that. My encouragement as somebody who's lived that is you do have to kind of push yourself to create a ritual. You wake up in the morning at this time, you get yourself ready, you put on good clothes, even if nobody's going to see you in them.
Right.
You do the hygiene ritual, you feel good about yourself, and you do it for you, not for anybody else. And it's meaningful to do that. And you kind of have to hold yourself. You kind of have to push yourself to it. And, what's neat about social media, Nick, is that it gives us that power to have an audience. Take a selfie, put it on Instagram, and commit to yourself. You're going to do it every day. And that, tell your friends and family, hey, guys, I'm doing this every day, not because I'm a narcissist, not because I care what you guys think, but because I'm talking to therapists about this, and it's something I'm doing for myself to be mentally healthy. But that kind of audience participation and support can kind of keep the blood moving and keep you doing something.
And that was one thing I was going to bring up too, is take a look at, like, this doesn't have to be a one-woman show.
Right.
Right? I mean, who do you have for support?
Right.
Call your team. Who's on your team?
Yes.
And you don't have to be the only player on the team. You can be the coach of the team, and you can call on certain people, right?
Go to meetup.com, find a mom's group. Find a group that does play dates at the park or goes down to the library for book readings. Get some things on your agenda, because I'm telling you right now, if you can get a little bit more reality into your world, it should help you break through some of those obstacles. Now, obviously, anxiety needs therapy. I want to see you visit with a therapist online or in person. I have a lot of patients that I now see online during the day, and they have kids, but they'll put them down for a nap, and then we'll just talk online, and it's very easy, very natural. I want to see that. But to pivot over to the other point about sleep. So obviously our advice is going to be get sleep, right? We're obviously going to tell you, hey, see the problem, identify it.
We here at Pod Therapy are pro sleep.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we have a very strict pro sleep position.
Yeah.
Prosomnia, hypersomnia, in fact. But so obviously we're going to push you toward that. In my world, I totally resonate with that need, that euphoria of having a break, having time to yourself, and not wanting to give that up. My wife is very different. For her, the relief is sleep. She so looks forward to sleeping. When the kids are down, she's like, oh, I can't wait to get to bed. And to me, it's like, I don't want to lose this.
Yeah.
If I'm unconscious, I don't enjoy the peace, right? I was just asleep. To me, sleep's like a chore. So I kind of identify with the writer. What I would do is, obviously it's going to be a boundaries thing. It's going to be setting a limit. It's going to be telling yourself, this is the time I go down. And creating a ritual to help you go to sleep is always good if you're trying to get back to your circadian rhythm. One way that you can get back to your circadian rhythm is, you can look for a sleep medication, which I'm okay with as long as it's not the really exciting stuff like Ambien or something like that. I'm fine with like Unisom. It's over the counter. It's easy. Tea. Having a ritual where you do like sleepy time tea or something like that,
right?
Which is really good, non-caffeinated. Taking that shower at night, making a ritual that kind of puts you down and still gives you relief, and it gives you something to enjoy.
Right.
Listening to a book on tape for an hour and falling asleep to it. My thing that when I know I need to start getting to sleep, my thing is I turn off all the lights and I put on science documentaries. And so I watch like tons of like space documentaries on YouTube,
Nova.
And then I pass out. Yeah, Nova. Yeah, I fall asleep to the sweet lulling sounds of British voices explaining physics. So find your thing and or your combination of things, and that will help you recapture sort of that bedtime mentality. Because I agree with you. Do not ignore this. Lack of sleep over elongated periods of time is dangerous. It's dangerous for you. It's dangerous for your child. And so I want to make sure that you're addressing that, and also getting support from a therapist, because I think that some of this stuff with anxiety needs to be directly observed. All right, so we are coming to the end of the show stuff, Nick, where we talk about apologies, announcements, talk about our patrons, and talk about letters that we've received. So lots going on. Why don't we start with apologies, Nick? Go ahead. Why don't you tell us the apologies thing? I wrote a script. Read the script.
Okay. This week, Jim would like to apologize to the state of Utah, the French national government, Marvel Comics, Augmented Reality, Coach John Gruden, the NFL rule makers, the J.D. Power Award, SpaceX, and the scientist who created the human-chicken hybrid embryo.
I apologize. Namaste to all of those people and or
you
entities and or governments.
Busy Twitter week, didn't you?
I had a very busy Twitter week, and this is good. This is cathartic. I feel like this is me making amends. So Utah, France, Coach Gruden. Maybe not Coach Gruden. Listen, I'm having stuff, okay? But you'll notice, Nick, not on this list, the Las Vegas Aces, okay?
Yeah.
WNBA is finally not... Well, I didn't get to them.
A week at peace.
Yeah. No, they are on an off season. So maybe when
they probably thought
again.
their Twitter handle wasn't working. They're just like, we didn't get a tweet from Dr.
There are Twitter followers that listen to the show that are like, yeah, all of those happened. Those are things.
I recognized a few of them,
Yeah, I got into it about Utah, but anyway, that's something. So I apologize to everybody.
And announcements this week. Happy birthday to the president of our Brazilian fan club and unofficial pen pal,
Manuela, we love you. Happy birthday.
Also, don't forget to sign up for Sushi October 11th in Las Vegas. So far, I'm going to read off the names that we got here. So if your name is on here, awesome. If your name is not on here and you plan to be there, let us know as soon as possible. I've got Dan M., Mandy A. from Australia.
Aussie.
Jake and Mrs. Jake. I've got Linda B., Andrew S., Nathan C., Tess M., Andrew P., Stacy W., and Robert L. So that's who we get. That's a
pretty good
list.
squad. And so if you didn't hear your name...
I didn't even know we had that many listeners.
Yeah, right? There's like 8 people on here. So if you didn't hear your name, we may have missed it on Twitter, Facebook, or by email if you know that you did RSVP. So if you didn't hear your name, go ahead and tag us again and just remind us, hey guys, you didn't say my name, but I'm totally coming. And if you would like to come and you haven't RSVP'd, you're welcome to. Remember the ad at the early part of the show. We're going to Goemon, and let us know you want to come.
Yeah, and if we didn't read your name, do not be offended. It's not that you're not important to us. It's that we are just so unorganized.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. We are probably the last people on Earth who should be putting this together.
No, we should not be in charge of this. And somehow we are. That's going to be one of the things is we're going to have rotating club presidents who become like the executive director of the show for a while. And they're the one that's like keeping us together.
We should not be in charge of anything.
Yeah. Well, we also want to say thank you to all of our Patreons. You guys have become really the support group that gets us through. And so we want to thank our THERAPALs. We have new THERAPALs. Shayla Bullock, who is the reason I have to apologize to Utah. She and I got into this huge ordeal.
About beer?
It started with you, because you said that Utah has big porn addiction. And she was like, oh, you guys are taking shots at Utah now?
Oh, yeah.
And I jumped in. I was like, first off, that was Nick. That was not me. Second off, yeah, Utah can go to hell. So it got really weird really fast. So, but Shayla, we love you. Thank you for being a THERAPAL. Scott Brady joined the team. Brian Lehman joined the team. And Trash Panda Industries I love that one. Also join the team. They give it the $1 a month level. Also, every month, we also want to acknowledge our faithful THERAPODs. They give it the $5 a month level, so thank you, Corey Owens. Thank you, John Bankenship. Thank you, Linda Brandmeier. Thank you, Mandy Abaila. She's from Australia. And thank you, of course, to Manuela Muzakia. I do not know how to do a Brazilian accent.
She actually sent a link in an email that was to Google Translate. That
just so we could get things right?
Yeah.
To translate her last name?
Yeah. You didn't, yeah.
Well, why would you translate it? It would translate to
but like it,
to how to
gives
say it.
Pronunciation.
Oh, a phonetic.
Here, I'm going to turn this up.
Put the volume on and play that.
Manuela Muzakia.
Muzakia?
Uh-huh.
That's not fair. I feel like she wrote it once and
that
it was
wasn't very
Muzakia.
loud.
Do it again.
Manuela Muzakia.
Muzakia.
I mean, that's...
I'm going to do it right. Okay, ready?
Well, that's...
Manuela Muzakia.
That's how it's pronounced. That's how Google pronounces it.
That's how I'm going to pronounce it from now on. Manuela Muzakia. Thank you for being a THERAPOD, Manuela. And of course, we owe a deep debt of gratitude to the members of our Elite 8 TheraProducers, Jake Schneider, and Smitty THERAPAL. We have 2 TheraProducers so far. We have 6 slots left open. And if you become a TheraProducer, you can contribute and add to the show with a meaningful message that you choose. So last week, in the uncut episode that we posted on Patreon, we played Name That Tune, in which Nick and Jim played tasty licks on guitar, and patrons had to name the song. So shout out to Linda B., who identified Life's Been Good by Joe Walsh, and Smitty Scoop, who identified Take It Easy by the Eagles, but unfortunately Smitty mistook my rendition of Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones